I cannot believe what just happened. I just sold my house for $50,000 more than what I thought I could have gotten for it. I'll explain in a minute how I came up with that number, but what is most surprising with this is I did it without a realtor. So not only did I make that extra 50 grand, but I also pocketed all the fees that would have gone to a realtor had I sold it in a traditional way. Now, one of my immediate family members has been in real estate for 20 plus years. I'm talking has their own brokerage, sold hundreds of homes in my actual market. That's where I feel confident in knowing what the market value of my home was. And what I did is I sold my home to Zillow. But when I initially considered it, I was concerned and I did some research, for instance, just YouTube, what's it like to sell your home to Zillow? And everything I found was negative. It was saying, the truth about Zillow and you don't want to do it for X, Y, and Z. It's a scam, don't do it, all that kind of stuff. So when I first got my offer from Zillow, I was just waiting, like, what's the catch? When are they going to try to bamboozle me? And when am I going to get to see the real value? And to my shock, it never happened. Now, I have my suspicions why that was my case and maybe not for other people. If you happen to know, I am really curious, this is almost a research video, please let me know in the comments below if you've experienced anything like this, personally selling your home, or if you have any insight as to why I had such a good experience. Now, my two biggest suspicions as to why it was different for me, first, it might have been location. Real estate is all location, location, location. I'm in a great market. I'm in northern Colorado, and it's just a really good market to be in when it comes to real estate in terms of, homes have greatly appreciated over the years here, and it's just a desirable place to live. So one thing that kind of made me think that is I was researching, selling your home on Zillow, what's that like? And I saw some people saying that there were transaction fees up to 7%. For me, the transaction fee was 1%, which was just crazy to me. It's everything I heard said it was more than 1%. Maybe that is location based, and I just got lucky there. The other thing I noticed though, especially if you YouTube selling your house on Zillow, is 90 to 95% of everybody who had something to say about it was actually a realtor. And if I was a realtor with these internet buyers, I would be threatened. I would feel threatened. It's a threat to your career. It is a big, scary boogeyman. So, there is an incentive. I'm not saying that they would say that it's a bad idea when it isn't, but there is an incentive for them to not promote or even to say negative things about Zillow because it's a direct threat to their income. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a sec, but I started to realize most of the bad stuff I'm seeing about Zillow is realtors that haven't actually used Zillow. So maybe there isn't a catch. Again, I feel like it's too good to be true, so I'm just dumbfounded and amazed. So let me just go through my story and explain exactly what happened and what it was like for me selling my house on Zillow as a review. So let's back up a little bit. So originally I was going to rent this home that I sold. And another thing about Zillow, I swear, Zillow is not paying me in any way. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not gonna make any money off of Zillow from this video. But I was going to rent it, and I found that Zillow was the best tool for renting. It was completely free. I tried to rent it on Zillow. I got over 20 applicants, and they gave me their application so I could see their credit scored, verified income through pay stubs, references, and it was just great and easy. They even allowed me to make a lease that I thought was actually pretty complete and professional. I could add my own stuff in there. I was really blown away with it. I was even able to get the security deposit through Zillow through an ACH transaction with my renter. So the night before my renter was supposed to move in, I got a text and he basically asked to get out of the lease. Now when I got this text, I thought, if things happen for a reason, this might be the universe telling me sell it instead of rent it, because I was kind of on the fence with both. I do believe a long-term good strategy is to just rent it out, but I was a little bit hesitant to do that because I'm a little worried about the real estate market, and it's man, it's been at an all-time high for a while, but I also purchased another home at an all-time high. It might be good to get some of my money out, and I'm really blessed and have multiple streams of income, and I know I could put that money to good use. So I was kind of going back and forth, and I was just man, this is a sign telling me sell this house. You don't want to keep it. It was a 22-year-old home, original air conditioning. The deck had a lot of issues. It was going to need a lot of money over the next 3 to 5 years. So I was just you know what? Let's just sell it. So I called my immediate family member, who is a realtor, and was hey, I want to sell the house. She was great. Let me do a market analysis. I'll tell you what it's worth. She came up with $535. And she thought that that was like, hey, that's a pretty high end. We might not get that, but I think if everything goes right, maybe a bidding war or something like that, we should be able to pull in 535 for it. Now, when I was renting my house out on Zillow, I always remember there was this little button that said get a cash offer. And I'd actually heard through another family member that their neighbor sold their house to Zillow and it was a way higher offer than they were expecting. And they live in the same general area that I live in. So I saw the button again. I'm like, what's the harm? I'll click it. And it's like, hey, no obligation. You know, just get a cash offer. See if you even can. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. No worries. Clicked it. And my Zestimate for my house was like $560. So after I clicked it, the next day I get a call from Zillow. Hey, wanted to talk to you about putting that offer in your home. The first thing they asked me was, do you have a real estate agent? And I said, yeah, I do. Did you sign a contract with them? Yes, I did. Okay, great. We have to include your real estate agent on this negotiation, on this whole deal, because they're a part of the deal and we want to respect them. Which personally I thought was pretty cool. I've heard some other things about some of the other internet buyers like Redfin that maybe they're not as friendly or willing to work with real estate agents as Zillow. I'm sure if you're in the real estate space, the Zillow is the enemy in some cases, and a lot of realtors don't like it. But I thought that was cool that they really respected the real estate agent and was like, hey, if you have a realtor, we need to include them. So I explained, hey, it's a family member. Yeah, she can be in on it and we can all talk together about it and whatnot. And they're like, okay, great. We'll give you a call soon to give you an offer. So I think it was like a day or two later, I get a call and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll offer you 580. And my jaw dropped. I was like, what? Wait, say that again? 580. And I was like, holy smokes, like, are you gonna put this in writing? Like, can you email it to me? I was like, holy moly, 580, that's way more than I thought. And then I was thinking, okay, there's some kind of catch, what's going on? And they said, hey, we're gonna send somebody out to take a look at the property and assess it to see if there's any kind of repairs. So they gave me like a rough breakdown, but they basically said it was gonna be 580 minus a 1% transaction fee, minus your closing fees, minus whatever your realtor fees are, and then this elusive repair fees. I'm like, that's it. That's where the catch is. It's this repair fee. They're like, we'll send somebody out to take a look at it and assess the repairs and let you know if there is any. The guy on the phone was casual. He's like, we're just seeing like, is it a pink house? Is there anything major that needs repaired? And I'm like, yeah, sure. 580. I just was expecting for some kind of big catch, just with, experience of life, and it just seemed too good to be true. So a couple days later, they give me a call and they said there was $2,400 worth of repairs. I think it was like $150 for something on the roof, and then whatever the rest was, $2,250, $2,300 for getting it ready to sell. Which my family member realtor was saying it's probably just to stage it because it was a vacant house at this time, and I was just like, I'm not even gonna argue with that. That's such a good price. I'm not gonna argue. Let's see where this goes. I was like, great, I accept the offer. And they were like, great. And then they started getting into the nitty gritty and what the actual cost was. Now at that time, my immediate family was gonna sell this house as a favor. They weren't trying to make money off of me or anything. And we asked the question, like, what if she wasn't a part of this deal? What are the fees then for the realtor? Like, where's the catch? And they're like, oh, well, if there's no realtor, there's just no realtor fees. It's like, what? So like, Zillow, you're not gonna take a realtor fee for doing this? So like, no, we just take the 1% fee, and then closing costs are just like regular closing costs. If anything, they could be cheaper in some ways, but it was pretty standard, which was just like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get 580 minus this little $2,400 repair fee, but I don't have to pay any realtor fees, and this is all gonna happen? They're like, yeah, no problem. It's really easy, cool. It's actually got a lot of advantages. We don't have to get an appraisal since it's a cash offer. We do our own inspection, which we've already done, so that's done. Like, we're ready to close. Do you wanna do this? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. How quickly can you do it? Originally, I was set for like 3 weeks out. I saw like one of the things they market is like, close in as little as 14 days. I was like, what about that? Can you close in 14 days? They're like, oh, let's give you a call back and find out. They call me back, they're like, yeah, we can close in 14 days. Just make sure that you're on it. We're gonna send you a bunch of paperwork and get everything done. So at this point, I'm just like, what is going on? Like, this is unbelievable. Like, am I dreaming? This is great. I'm gonna make way more money. It's gonna be an easy close. And it just seemed too good to be true. So then in the paperwork you sign it, and they did tell me this, they were upfront with it. They're like, yeah, about 24 to 48 hours before we close on the home, we're gonna send somebody by again. And they're just making sure that the home is ready to close and nothing changed from the time of the inspection to when that happened. And that's where I was like, that's it. That's the catch. That's where they get you. I knew it was a scam. They're gonna come back and they're gonna say, oh, we didn't notice this the first time, but now we've noticed all this other stuff. And hey, we're supposed to close. You're already in contract. Like, let's just push this through kind of deal. That's what I was expecting. But no, none of that happened. Everything they said was true. They were explaining sometimes when we go to close on a house, we're supposed to close tomorrow. We go take a look at it and they're still living there. Nothing's packed. We know it's not going to be ready to take over in a day. That's what they claimed. And of course that they wanted to make sure nothing drastic had happened. It didn't get vandalized or something like that. So yeah, it was the day before the close. They went and took a look at it, said, yep, everything looks great. We're good. We're ready to close. And I was just like, what? Unbelievable. So another nice, great convenience was for the closing, I didn't even have to leave my house. I just sat on that couch right there on my computer and did all the notarization through like an online notary and signed all the closing documents. They wired the funds to my account in the morning and they were there by the evening. I was just completely blown away. It was smooth, flawless. Everything they said happened. They were very upfront, very casual, very professional. Again, I'm just blown away with the fact that this happened and it's great. So I was doing a little bit more research, like how is this possible? And I've heard people claim that they're not even trying to make money off of these deals. They do make their transaction fee, but a lot of times they don't sell the home for more. Sometimes they actually sell it for less. This happened actually 11 days ago and it's still not for sale. Like I keep checking to see like, what are they gonna sell it for? Because I just don't think it's worth $580. It had some like weird quirks with it that maybe not the most desirable floor plan. It was more of like a split level floor plan. And I did actually list it with the realtor and we didn't have any offers in the short time it was listed. So my point is like, I don't think they're gonna be able to sell it for more than $580, but I have heard rumors and done a little bit of research that says that they actually sometimes will lose money, but what they're doing is they're gathering data and getting users, and that's kind of their business plan. I haven't done enough research to actually know, but again, if you know anything more about this, like, is it just a unique situation? Did I just get lucky because where I live? Has anyone else or you personally experienced this? Please let me know in the comments, or just like, what happened? I'm just like totally dumbfounded and can't believe it. That immediate family member, all of her, co-workers were saying, oh, there'll be some scam, just wait, and it just never happened. All right, so I just wanted to share my review and experience of selling my house on Zillow, what it was like. I hope you got some useful information out of it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.